Hello and welcome. I felt inspired to do a reading today, so I have no idea what's going to come out, and I'm just going to do one card at a time and just read in a more intuitive way. So what is happening in your world? Okay, bit of a stormy card. But this card is very much about moving away from something that doesn't light your heart up like it used to. And I'm feeling for you that this has been a long journey, a long-winded journey. And what I'm about to tell you probably isn't anything new. And that is that you know what you need to move away from. It's just that you're probably not sure what you're moving towards fully yet. Or if you do know, it still feels like such a long way. So I really get that for you. And it's hard being in that hallway, that room between rooms. And yeah, it's like you're sort of wearing clothes that don't fit you anymore. And it can be very uncomfortable. And you just want to break out, but you don't want to just be naked. That's what's coming to me. You want to know that you've got some awesome new clothes to put on. So there's a passage that you're moving through at the moment. And yeah, I'm feeling that discomfort of wanting to burst. It's like a bursting feeling to break through into the next chapter. And yet, as you can see, there's so much water here. And this slow trickle. And the top is not pouring. So that's already drained. And so you've just got this last bit happening here before it finally reaches the ocean. So I'm feeling for you that patience it's annoying when someone says to be patient, I get that, but it is a very spiritual practice to look at your life as something that, and your flow at the moment, is something that has perfection in it inherently. And to really honor that, yeah, your heart has changed directions. And there's a longing in that. And to let yourself feel that longing. And a really beautiful practice with that is to actually love your longing. Love that your heart has changed direction. Love that you don't fit anymore in some areas of your life that you used to, once those areas were the thing you were wanting to move into, but now they've reached their point where they've run dry and it's time to move forward. So let's see what moving forward towards. Hoping Spirit can help you feel a bit more into that. So what are you moving towards? Okay. Well, we've got success here. This card, as you can see, is incredibly harmonious. There's a real sense of things coming together and a beautiful alignment that's going to occur for you. And that already has occurred. This is already sitting in your vibrational field. And the ingredients to walk into this is time. Of course, the wheel needs to turn, but also making sure you are impeccable with your energy and your emotional field. So making sure that your number one resource that you're prioritizing on right now is how you feel. And to not get lost in the kind of more stormy aspect of this energy, that lost feeling. So really tuning into this bright faith and trust and joy and an element of excitement if you allow it. Excitement is often overrated. It's almost like when you're a teenager, it's all you feel all the time. It's just moving on to the next exciting thing. And then as we get into adulthood, it becomes almost a bit of a luxury. But excitement, if you let it trickle in, it can actually give you a bit of a buzz, and it can kind of break through that fog or the doubt that can easily come in. So if you've got excitement trickling through there, just let yourself have that. Let yourself be excited. Let yourself be excited for the unknown as well. If anything, that's more exciting, because anything that you have in your mind is probably only going to be the tip of the iceberg. So play around with your emotional fields, cultivate that energy, and take care of it. That's your most sure way path to success while you're in this hallway, while you're in this passage. I'm just going to see if there's anything that might be blocking that for you. Often it's, the usual suspects, fear and resistance, but I just want to see if there's some more detail I can pull. Okay, Queen of Swords. Just give me a second, tune into this. As you can see, there's a woman here holding a sword, and she's holding her head. I think that's of her husband. So there's a severing feeling that I'm getting from this. Severing, I know, is a strong thing, and I'm not usually a fan of anything that has that kind of strong cutting energy, but I'm feeling that I'm being asked to talk about where that is useful and where you do need to just bring in a clear, decisive no to something. And that something could be within you that keeps trying to drag you down, keeps trying to block your feeling of hope and trust, keeps trying to tell you that something's wrong, keeps throwing you into a spin of doubt. So saying no to that and coming back to clarity, letting yourself lift up above the clouds, letting yourself kind of rise into that sovereign energy that you are in a co-creative relationship with life, and you have been heard. Absolutely, you've been heard. Your wishes, your dreams, this change of heart, it's absolutely been heard. But you need to hold the fort here. You need to keep your head above the fog. You need to keep your head in the blue sky, and to let yourself dwell there, because not only is it pulling in your success and constantly feeding back to the universe that you're ready for it, but it's more pleasurable. In the meantime, you might as well be in this more clear, optimistic state. That's not to say these other parts won't come and hit you, particularly if you're tired, run down, you're having to go to a job you don't love, you're in a relationship that you know isn't for you anymore. Of course, those things are going to come in. But there is a lesson here around choosing the higher road. That's very much what this card's about as well. How can you liberate yourself in that? And to see it as just a natural passage of time. It will pass. The stage will pass. Life is full of passings. So you don't need to worry about that stuckness so much. And see this as a bit of a training ground to use this sword and keep yourself clear come back to it. I'm getting meditation here as something that will keep you clear, even if it's just 5 minutes. Something that will lift you up from the usual kind of habitual energy that wants to grab you. And that might be sort of part of this transition that can come with a bit of gloom sometimes. What's going to help ground you during this time? What's going to help ground you is seeing yourself as part of this wider cosmic field. Don't get lost in the small self and the ego and the sort of depraved child that we all have that's feeling lost and forsaken and forlorn and cut off. That is where your energy will drop. That is where you're throwing interference into what already has been heard, what wish has already been heard from you. So seeing yourself as part of this greater whole is going to liberate you and aid this process of lifting you up. And as you can see with this card, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of cosmic charge, a lot of cosmic energy. And you might be thinking, where am I in all of this? Well, if you allow yourself, you're right here in the middle. And you're radiating through your emotional fields your wishes, your wants, your love, and also everything that's a shadow to that, your resistances and your fears. So this wheel is going to turn no matter what. And I think there's a beautiful surrender in this for you, in letting yourself be part of this bigger picture. And also, yeah, I'm getting a sense like you haven't missed the boat. You haven't done anything wrong. Even if you feel lost for a time, that's okay. Overall, there's more positive energy, much more positive energy that you've already sent off. So I think you need to hear that. There is this electrical charge up here in you that even with the darkness or the challenge or the going upstream, there's the flip side of that. You've been figuring out what you want while you've been living what you don't want anymore. And that has been received. So the Wheel of Time, Wheel of Fortune. This is one of my favorite cards because when I pick it, it immediately relaxes me because I'm just, not because everything's going to be hunky-dory and there's only going to be positivity. Of course, there's going to be the duality coming. There's going to be expansion and contraction again. But I just see myself as part of this greater tapestry, and I feel more at ease and cradled almost. Like if you let yourself be in the middle here, it's actually a refuge where you don't have to try so hard. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to figure it all out. You actually can relax. And that relaxation is more powerful than trying to solve something that is out of your hands in a way. Or trying to solve something from the mind, the level of the mind. That will fling you around if you let yourself sit in that too much. So come back to your center as much as you can. Okay, I hope that was helpful. I feel like that's a good place to leave it. Thanks for letting me read for you, and I'll see you next time.